From townhall.com, our friend Katie Pavlich with us. How you doing, Katie?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. All right, so B. Todd Jones, President Obama's nominee to head up the BATFE, getting his confirmation hearing. How's it going?
It went okay. You had B. Todd Jones, as you say. He is under a lot of allegations of whistleblower intimidation, and that was kind of the center of his controversy today on Capitol Hill. You've had Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley, who has a long history of defending whistleblowers, bringing up these allegations from not only inside ATF, but also from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Let's not forget that B. Todd Jones is also the U.S. Attorney for Minnesota. And the frustration comes with two things. You have the majority in the Senate Judiciary Committee holding this hearing because President Obama, as part of his 20 executive actions, wanted to have a permanent ATF director, so he nominated Todd Jones. But there's an ongoing investigation into Todd Jones, and so these allegations haven't been cleared up yet, but they're willing to proceed with putting him into a higher position of power. The second thing that's frustrating is we've heard from, especially those on the left, all about how it's ridiculous and uncalled for that ATF hasn't had a nominee for almost a decade now. But let's take a look at why there hasn't been a nominee. The first 2 years of President Obama's administration, he didn't put a nominee up. So, of course, if there's not a nominee, then you can't confirm them. Then he put up Andrew Traver. We all know Andrew Traver's story. Congress asked for more information about Andrew Traver's background. He denied, or he failed to provide it, and so eventually his name was withdrawn for that position. And so they try to make it seem like it's just Republicans obstructing ATF because they don't like the agency, when in reality there are some very legitimate reasons why the ATF hasn't had a permanent director for all those years.
Yeah, and it's interesting with these allegations against Todd Jones. I noticed even the Minneapolis Post had pointed out that Senator Grassley says, it's inappropriate to consider this nomination at a time in which there's an internal investigation into his conduct as U.S. attorney. One could say, Katie, that this perhaps wasn't even that there were better nominees available here. Like, why would the president nominate somebody who brought this sort of baggage, given the fact that the president himself has said, look, we need a director here. We've been without one for 6 years. Why nominate somebody that is going to have this trouble, getting confirmed?
Right, exactly. And that was part of the problem with Andrew Traver before, because Andrew Traver is a very controversial anti-gun zealot from Chicago. And if he's really serious about getting someone in charge of ATF to do some work that's in relation to what ATF is supposed to do, he needs to stop picking nominees who carry that political baggage with them as well. Todd Jones not only has all these allegations of whistleblower retaliation hanging over his head, he also has Fast and Furious hanging over his head because he was on Eric Holder's Attorney General's advisory board throughout the course of Fast and Furious with Dennis Burke, who, of course, was running the operation from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Phoenix. And so he brings a lot of that. But the focus here is that he created a, quote, climate of fear, according to some of these whistleblower complaints that have been filed with the Inspector General's office. And as you know, and as we've covered multiple times on your show, ATF has a history and is notorious for retaliating against those who, according to Todd Jones, jump their chain of command or dare to speak out against what the agency is doing that is inappropriate. And that's not what the agency needs going forward. It needs someone who's willing to be open and transparent with what goes on in the agency so they don't have secret operations like Fast and Furious going on in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen, Katie, thank you so much. I know you got to run to Cavuto, but appreciate you joining us this afternoon and look forward to talking to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.